Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jason. I am back again with another video and a bit of a thread idea I've got here. Well, something that I stole actually from the YouTube land. Something I saw the other day on Steve Pardo's show, Steve Tranquility. Him and Martin Popoff were doing something similar. It might have been a few years back, actually. I'm not sure because sometimes I catch old videos from his channel. Nevertheless, this is going to be 10 albums, best of, uh, where the best song on each album is the title track. Now, in some cases, there are definitely other good tracks on the album, but I would say generally this is the best one on the record, is the title track. And in some cases, it might even be the only song that is the best song on the album, or the only song that I play, but we'll get into that. I'm going to kick things off first with Husker Du and one of their sort of transition albums, New Day Rising, as they're getting a little bit more melodic, but still super fast and hardcore. Um, Maybe not quite as fast as Land Speed Record and the first album, but yeah, more melodic, like I was saying. New Day Rising is by far, I think, the best track on this album. It's definitely the most memorable on this album. I really, to be honest, don't know a lot of the other songs on this record at all. This is not the Husker Du record that I really grew up with, which would have been Candy Apple Grey when I was a kid, but also Metal Circus EP, and even maybe a little bit of Zen Arcade too, despite it being a double. It's a bit more memorable for me. This one came out in '85. It's a nice Canadian press on Fringe product. And yeah, there's some good tracks on here. Perfect Example is pretty fun, despite Bob's so-so singing on that. I don't know what you're talking about is a pretty good Yeller kind of track as well. But I think New Day Rising is, like I said, the best one on that Husker Du album. Now, this is one that was actually showed in Pete Pardo's video for this topic, and it makes a hell of a lot of sense, so I'm going to show it again as well. It's Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath on the Black Sabbath album. So, title track of epic proportions, really. It's the opener track of the album. And this album actually might reappear in a future thread I'm thinking of. Another one that I've seen Pete do, I think, is best best first side of an album, I guess, front loaded albums. And I would say that this one would probably fall in that category because I'm not really a big fan or play often side two on this one. But side one, Black Sabbath, The Wizard, Behind the Wall of Sleep, and NIB are all classics. So yeah, I would say best track on the album, Black Sabbath. Another metal one here to show you guys, and very metal, in fact. Metal on Metal by Anvil. This is my OG copy, I think, from when I was a kid. Always had this on wax, and there's some other really good tracks on this one too. Jackhammer, March of the Crabs, Mothra are really fun. All of which are on side one too, by the way. But Metal on Metal is probably their most famous and best song by Anvil of all time. So that's the best title track for sure. Going a little 80s pop rock here next, but a legendary classic rock artist of the 60s who just kept coming. Steve Miller Band. Gonna go with Abracadabra. This is not a very loved album in the VC. Barely ever see it mentioned. I think a lot of people don't like this era of Steve Miller. It's fun, it's poppy, a little bit funky at times, but I gotta say, pretty much the only song I've ever heard on this album. I never spin this record much. Probably should. Maybe there's got to be at least one or two other good tracks on this record. So let me know in the comments below if there's something else you like on this one. I always had the 45 when I was young, and the song stuck with me. Now from Germany, some hard rockers. I'm gonna go with the Scorpions for this next pick, and Love Drive. I feel like that's the best song on this one. Most most played, I guess, from this album. Most known as well. The other ones are they're all good. Another Piece of Meat, maybe Love You Sunday Morning. Can't get enough. I don't know. None of these songs really stand out to me that much. Yet it's a pretty good album. So Love Drive by Scorpions, and of course, gotta mention from the West Coast, from Seattle. I think these guys are from Queensryche, Queen of the Reich, and The Warning. Warning is by far the best track on this album. It's actually my favorite Queensryche song and my favorite Queensryche album. So there you go. But yeah, could listen to that for days with big vocals, prog metal, reign supreme. A little Canadian rock here next for another pick. I'm gonna go with Blue Rodeo. It's the only Blue Rodeo album that I have on vinyl, just because I found it in the wild for dirt cheap. And yeah, the only song I really like on this one is Diamond Mine, which they play live often. I'm sure the other songs are not bad, just never really give them a listen. There's no other big hit or single, I don't believe, from this album. Came out in 88 or 89. Diamond Mine, best one. So that might be one of those ones where it is the best, the only song I listen to on that album. This next one has a few good tracks on this, and she's always excellent at releases and production choices as well. We got Sly and Robbie doing the productions here on Grace Jones' Warm Leatherette. This one's kind of different. It's actually a cover song of the famous Normal, Daniel Miller's classic synth wave, cold wave track. Getting the Grace Jones treatment. I didn't realize that Grace Jones did quite a few covers actually over the years. This also has Love's the Drug, which I think is that a Roxy Music cover? A Rolling Stone, Private Life. Yeah, a whole bunch of good stuff on here, but I'd say Warm Leatherette, title track, definitely the standout one for me on that. Two more to go. We'll finish off here with some hip hop. Paris. West Coast MC, very into the G-Funk style, but also very political rap, as you can see. I mean, this was kind of taking it to the next level after Public Enemy. Almost a bit like Public Enemy meets NWA. This is The Devil Made Me Do It, which is an absolutely killer track on this album. This one was a tough call because, just like the next one too, there's a couple of other standout tracks, definitely. For example, Scarface Groove is very good. Break the Grip of Shame, too, which was the first single. First time we saw Paris on video. I have to say, a very close call. It's also a very good song on this album. But The Devil Made Me Do It is really quite well done. Very smart track. And of course, his delivery is always sinister. So that's a classic, Paris. And last but not least, another classic in hip hop era. This is almost before the golden era. Old school Schoolie D here. And the second album, although it has some tracks from his first self-released album as well, but this is Saturday Night, the album. And on Jive RCA, Schoolie D with Code Money. Big record for me back in the day. Big influence on my DJing. I always liked the tough cuts of Code Money. The samples are excellent too. This is Joe the Butcher did the production, sampling Sly and Family Stone and some other really cool funk tracks. This album actually is just like oozing with killer tracks. Housing the Joint is super tough. Getting Paid, This Groove Is Bad, B-Boy, Rhyme and Riddle. Parkside 5-2 could potentially be the best song in this album, but that one is kind of on the first. I think that's on the first album before this one by Schoolie. So I'm going to go with Saturday Night because that is a pretty epic kind of gangster rap track. It's a dude from Philly. One of the pioneers of gangster rap, really, coming out a couple of years before NWA, and very early on, him and Ice-T doing gangster rap stuff. So Schoolie D, Saturday Night, from Saturday Night, the album. And that is my 10 picks, 10 albums, 10 best tracks, title tracks from an album. And I will see you guys soon.